Good morning. This is Jan and Dick Sipe, and we've been asked to share a story about the Legacy Fund. Last fall, God planted a vision in our mind to have a conference, and it started with an unrealized dream, surprising faith, and Facebook, maybe even a little stalking on Facebook. So 10 years ago, I decided I was going to become an author and I was going to write a book, so I joined a writer's group. As a result of that, I became involved in an author's book study with Heather Holloman. And as a result of that, we became Facebook friends. When she wrote another book, she would post that a new book had been released. So I saw that and I would sign up and order the book that she and her husband wrote called Sent. Well, time passes, and last fall, she posted that her husband was going to be going through a new season in his career. I got a little curious, so I started doing a little snooping. And I kind of stalked Facebook a little bit to see if I knew what his new career change was. And I ended up on Heather's author's writing website. And there I saw that she and her husband Ashley did conferences together, talking about the Sent lifestyle. So I thought, that's when the idea came to me. We could use our reshaping money, the grant money that we had received several years ago, for an event at our church. So I presented the idea to the diaconate, and my hope would be that we'd get a few people from our church to come to this event, and maybe people from our surrounding community. To my surprise, the diaconate grabbed a hold of this, and they were concerned that our church wasn't big enough for the hundreds of people that might come. That's when I realized that God showed me that He works through our unrealized dreams and our weaknesses. Our idea was to have an event that would equip the disciples in our church and our community to encourage more disciple making.
You know, there's a catchphrase that they use in the book Sent that I really like. And it's sent a new way of thinking. And that has really kept going through my mind as we've gone through this whole process of having a conference. A new way of thinking. Well, you know, as Jen said, our vision originally was for our church. You know, we're really excited to be part of the ministry here at First Baptist. And so we thought this would be a great thing to have at our church so we could grow as disciples and make disciples. Our things really changed when Sherry came up to us, who's been working with communications with Jan and some other people. And she said, you know, I'm so excited to be able to invite Christians for something that could teach them how to make disciples. In fact, I've already found 4 people who have already said they want to come who don't go to our church. And they're excited because they've always wanted to know how, but they didn't know. You know, this is what is so awesome. We went from maybe a vision of 30 to 300. And I've already talked to several people outside the church and they think we're crazy. I don't know what God is going to give us, but I know one thing for sure. God always wants us to dream bigger than what we think, because God can do anything. Amen? Amen. And so we're so excited about the Legacy Fund. You know, I was the chairman of the Endowment Committee for a while, and that was a great fund that happened years ago that helped students become better disciples, pastors, and various things like that. And then last year we transitioned to the term Legacy Fund, which gave a definition of what we want to do, and that was to grow disciples. How fitting it was. Now, I will tell you this. We had some money from reshaping, but we could never have dreamt God's big dream for this conference if that's all we had. But I'm so thankful that we had the Legacy Fund and that the NACA board voted that we could use some of that money so that we can make the best possible way of bringing people here so that they can learn about their God stories, so they can share those God stories with other people, so they can be in the process of discipleship to make new disciples. And I know God's going to do a great thing, and we are so thankful for the men and women who donated for all these years to have this fund that we can use to make disciples, to bring people to Christ. Amen.